For the most realistic steering system available on the market, look no further than Sim Steering from Leo Bodnar. Designed and hand-built at the home of British Motorsport's Silverstone circuit, it's extensively used by professional driver training centres and race teams including Formula 1 since 2010. The high precision and completely linear response coupled with high strength provides the ultimate in realistic steering force feedback. Visit simsteering.com.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. The GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels including Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
Hello iRacers, welcome to Apex Racing TV. Alex Simpson, Bernie Weemers here at the mountain for this endurance race of the Aerial TV's V8 Supercar Series. Well, good evening, I believe it is for yourself, Bernie. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, it's good evening over here. It's Saturday night my time. So I'm really excited to be back at Bathurst, and especially for an Enduro.
Yeah, just if anyone's tuning in now live, just let me know if you've got any issues with the stream. My end, maybe it looks a little bit jumpy, so we might have to reassess that. See how that goes. Yeah, Bernie, so Oran Park last week, do you want to just give the guys a quick recap of what happened there, and then we'll have a quick run through qualifying and a look at the championship standings?
Yeah, not a problem, Alex. Last week we were at Oran Park. We had a two-sprint race. The highlight for me was the second race. We had two close battle packs, but the one that really showed them what was Ian Ford, who won that second race by over, I think it was about 8 seconds. And having a look at qualifying tonight, it looks like he's got pole at the moment, which is fantastic.
Yeah, you briefly mentioned qualifying. Let's bring up the provisional grid. We've got just about 30 seconds to go, so everybody's probably on their last lap. And as you said, Ian Ford currently sitting on top. Aaron Hamilton, perhaps a little bit of a surprise for me in second place, just 2 tenths behind as well. So he was up at the top for quite a part of the qualifying, so got himself a good lap early on. Kurt Stenberg, someone hits the wall there. In third place, Tobias Czerny in fourth, and Greg Sharp rounds out your top 5 at the moment. Just quickly skim through the rest while we're waiting for everyone to finish up, and we'll keep an eye on any changes. Thanks, Lewis, for letting me know it's all good. Just to quickly touch while these guys are finishing up qualifying, Bernie, just thought I'd quickly go through the table just for those that don't have access to the Dan Lisa webpage to have a little look at it. But yeah, Jake Burton still leading the way with 721 points. He's got 96 points over his teammate Kurt Stenberg in second. Tobias in third has got drop rounds to come into play, 164 points. So he has got a chance. Of course, I don't see Jake on the grid today, so there's obviously going to be quite a dramatic close-up today. So Aaron Hamilton, 194 as well, also looking strong, like he could close it up. We could end up with actually quite an interesting sort of championship close in these last 2 weeks. Still there, Bernie?
Yeah, mate, I'm still here. I was just checking out the nice liveries out there. We've got a DeWalt livery and a Vodafone livery tonight. It's always great to see these, especially at Bathurst.
It doesn't look like there's any change in the stand-in, so just a couple of drives still out there. Tobias actually, no, he looks like he's finished up as well. Mark Warmington's still out there. We've just seen him come around at the moment, so... But he's not going to finish up either, so that's the one thing with this track, so long. Very difficult to get your lap in. So yeah, to confirm then, Ian Ford on pole, Aaron Hamilton second, Kurt Stenberg, Tobias Czerny for row 2, round 3. Round 3? Row 3 even. It's early. Greg Sharp, Mark Warmington, Nils Jordan, Scott Connors, Craig Jones, Shane Best is your 10th place driver, Alex Czerny, and 11th Brenton O'Brien, 12th Timothy Ballinger, Raymond Steer, Yelena Medvedev in 15th. Mr. Woodhouse, he did manage to make it onto the grid. He said he might do. In 16th he's going to race, but I don't think he's had much time to practice for it. Paul Gorrell and Nils Jordan round out your starting lineup. 18 drivers. Looks like the mountains tamed everybody before they even started, mate.
Yeah, and I'm just having a look at. I'm not sure if Paul Gorrell's actually going to make the start because he's greyed out at the moment, and I notice he hasn't set a time.
Yeah, it's just yeah, I've still got a few drivers. Still waiting for Yelena, Brenton, Raymond, Tobias, Alex, Paul, everyone to make to the grid. We've got 30 seconds before the lights are going to come on, so. Maybe a few drivers decided not to run this one.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. Normally the V8 drivers love Bathurst, but we've still got a fairly good turnout with 18 drivers, so it'll definitely separate the boys from the men or women around here.
Yeah, no Katie tonight, so Yelena representing. Hopefully she can do well, although she's not taken to the grid either. So yeah, perhaps a bit disappointing. A couple of drivers, no Paul. So here we go, getting ready. Lights are coming on. Kurt will want to get a good start in P2. So far so good. Everyone got away cleanly. Looking around the outside for Stenberg there, but nothing happening. Ian holds on to that position. In fact, Kurt's coming under a little pressure from sorry, that's Aaron Hamilton, isn't it, in second place? My mistake. But Aaron's coming under pressure from Kurt now, and he's got himself clean in front before we hit turn 2.
Yeah, that was a nice clean start. It's great to see.
As you can see on the clock at the top, we're an hour and a half's race today, endurance event. One of only 2 endurance races, I believe, in the series, so yeah, it's going to be tricky. I'm wondering actually if it's the time that hasn't put a couple of drivers off. Yelena's made her way out onto track now, but quite a way behind. I'm guessing that was a pit lane start there, so might have just missed the start, so I'm not sure quite what happened there.
Yeah, Yelena was saying that she had trouble getting on the grid for some reason. She couldn't grid up, so which could explain the pit lane start.
Yeah, very odd, but underway nonetheless. Got 8 seconds to make up on Nils Jordan, so we'll keep an eye on her progress.
Yeah, well, it's a long way, hour and a half, especially around Bathurst, and with no driver swaps, these guys are definitely going to have their work cut out for them tonight.
Yeah, Aaron Hamilton really starting to put a bit of pressure on Kurt. He's got the run into the sweeping right-hander. Just a little bit too far back to make it work from here. Gonna have to keep an eye out on Tobias behind him. Nice new livery for Tobias there as well.
Yeah, we spoke to Tobias last week and about his new livery, and he was still saying him and his brother are in the process of getting their little team organised, which will be exciting once that gets off the ground.
Talking of his brother, Alex up to P10 at the moment, so gained some positions off the start. Just right at the tail end of this this pack. Well, actually, he's right in the middle of it. So no doubts we'll keep an eye on his progress. I think endurance race not normally going to suit Alex best. He definitely seems like he eats his tyres up pretty quickly. I mean, that's just something that comes with the V8 and getting used to that and how to drive it, and we've seen drivers sort of learn and adapt to that over, say, many seasons. But I think we'll see Alex slowly improve on that. But this is a true test, I think, today. An hour and a half on the mountain. He's definitely going to have to be careful and try and keep those tyres in check.
Yeah, definitely. The V8 is a very easy car to overdrive and get those wheels spinning. So he'll definitely have his work cut out for him today.
And we need to comment on the fact that Ian Ford is 2 seconds away already. Absolutely flying out there. Kurt seems to be holding up the pack behind him at the moment. This is letting Ian get away. The long race though, drivers know that they don't need to rush anything. But for Ian already, he's just sort of getting himself in a rhythm. He's not under any pressure, so he can just zone in on that rhythm. And we've seen what happens when drivers do that, especially tracks like Bathurst where you get the walls so close. You can I just remember when Senna got into that super rhythm at Monaco and absolutely flew until he hit the wall. So let's hope that's not what Ian does today, but he's definitely got the opportunity to do that already.
Yeah, Ian's really gained a lot of momentum as of last week, and it's great to see him out front. But as you said, Alex, around Bathurst, it's very easy to hit the walls around here. Also be interesting to see how driver strategy comes to play in this endurance tonight.
Looks like we've got a little bit of a battle going on between I think that's Shane, Alex and Brenton there as well, just all swapping and changing positions through turn 1. Looks like Shane lost out in the end, down to P12. Brenton moves himself up to 11th. Also got a good battle going on between, I think this is Mark Walmington, Caleb and Scott. Oh, as Jordan there just gets a little bit out of shape going over the crest. Yeah, got an interesting question on YouTube, Bernie. I haven't actually had a chance to speak to any of the drivers, but how many pit stops were you expecting them to take today? I don't know if you've heard from any of your lads.
Yeah, I haven't heard from any of my guys this week. I'd probably expect them to probably do 2 pit stop strategy around here in an hour and a half, but we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, I think you're right. 2 stops for most. Just check back in with battle for 2nd place. Kurt still holding his own. He's got this little train behind him. Sounds pretty similar to what happened at Oran Park last week from your description, Bernie.
Yeah, this is pretty much exactly what happened in the 2nd race last week, where we had Ian get out front and get a big lead, and then we had a bunch of little battle packs throughout the field, normally about 3 drivers. But as they say, it's a long way to go.
Now, I'm just looking at Kurt's car as well. Has there been another driver change of team there as well? He looks like he's bought in a Dayco livery there. Has there been another little change for him?
Yeah, I guess the news with the sponsorships going, not sure which team Kurt's with, but Dayco did sponsor another racing team. So there's been a bit of a shuffle around at the moment with the sponsorship and the different teams. So you'll probably notice a few cars will be driving with different liveries at the moment till things settle down.
Yeah, and actually looks like Kurt just skimmed the wall there and has picked up a little bit of damage on his driver's side door, I believe it was. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Pretty easy to do, and I expect the guys will be rubbing these walls all through the race.
Yeah, they won't want to rub them too hard though, or else Bathurst might bite them.
Just jump on board with Scott Connors. He's trying to close in on the back of that super black liveried car of Caleb Jordan there. Also getting some talk that the guys might even have to go to a 3-stop strategy here as well, depending on how well they can maintain the fuel. So could see some different race strategies out there.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just looking at the times Ian Ford's setting at the moment. He's down in the 2:07s at the moment, which is very quick race pace around here in a V8.
I mean, it's 1.1 seconds quicker than Kurt that lap. I mean, I know Kurt's got a whole host of traffic to worry about behind him that's just nipping at his gearbox there, wanting to get past. But still, 1 second is just a mighty amount of time in race pace. So maybe there are some different strategies coming out already, and yeah, Ian's strategy is pedal to the metal and see what happens.
Yeah, that's right. I hope he starts driving to the gap a bit, so he doesn't overcook his tyres or push too hard and end up in the wall.
As again, we just hear a tiniest little skim now. I think the servers are producing a bit of random latency today, over and above the normal. So I think where I'm looking at these Australian drivers on camera right now, we might see the odd little time where it looks like they hit the wall, but they actually don't.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the rest of the field at the moment, Alex, and it looks like we've had our first DNF, which was Andrew Woodhouse. So looks like unfortunately he's out of the race, and Paul Gorrell did not start this race.
Let's just see if I can find out where Mr. Woodhouse lost it. I'm not sure we're going to be able to. I'll try. I'm not really sure what goes on with the new overlay system since the recent build, but I tell you what, the replays are now rubbish. I can never seem to get anything up, so that's saved Mr. Woodhouse from shame for sure. I'm sure he'll tune it in right now as well, just to see if we see that. But you're alright, mate, you're safe. We've not got it. Let's catch back up with the leaders, see what's going on.
I tell you what, I love Tobias's livery at the moment. He's got Penske written right across the back rear spoiler, announcing, you know, for people following V8s, the announcement was that Marcus Ambrose will be coming back to Australia to run under Team Penske in the V8 Supercars next year. So Tobias is obviously celebrating that news.
Yeah, a lot of interesting news in all the motorsports at the moment going on as well. So it becomes that time of the year, doesn't it, where all the teams announce what they're going to be doing and where the driver's going to be going. So yeah, for those of you that haven't tuned into some of the F1 as well, seems like Sebastian's off to Ferrari.
And they're saying Alonso's off to McLaren, so I wonder which McLaren driver will be moving on.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think that's the writing on the wall for Jensen there. So
yeah, I'd say so.
Well, it looks like these three cars, second, third, fourth, so Kurt, Aaron and Tobias, are all pretty content just to sit here and see what each other's doing. If they make a mistake, then of course avoid that, but not really looking to get any kind of move done.
No, it looks like the field's now settling into a race rhythm, starting probably to drive to their fuel numbers or their times, and seeing where it all shakes out at the end of it.
Got Connors having a little look on Caleb Jordan there, but not able to make it happen. Looks like we've also lost Shane Best as well, so Mountain is starting to claim. The other thing we've got to worry about as well, it's an hour-and-a-half race, and they have got an 18-point incident limit as well, so it's going to be very, very easy for the guys to get disqualified here.
Yeah, definitely 18 incident points for an hour-and-a-half around Bathurst. You want to keep it pretty clean.
Bernie, I'm just looking at Nils Jordan, obviously one of your guys over at Redback Racing, closing in on Ballinger at the moment.
Yeah, Nils is, where's he running? 11th at the moment. He's doing pretty well, and yeah, he's one of our drivers, and he's based in Germany, I think, in Europe. It looks like Nils is the only one flying the flag for Redback Racing tonight, so as always I'm hoping to see him improve on that position of 11th.
Yeah, Paul unfortunately not making it to the grid.
Just having a look back at 7th and 8th at the moment, with Caleb still has just in front of Scott Connors, but we'll see if that develops into a bit of a battle as the race progresses.
Pulled out just a little bit of a margin this lap as well, not much, but enough to not come under too much threat as it goes into the chase.
Yeah, and I really like his Super Black Racing livery he's running. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, these guys slowly losing touch of Mark Warmington in 6th place as well. We haven't seen much of Mark out there today. He's sort of slowly drifting into no man's land, as he sometimes does.
Yeah, another thing these drivers will have to stay on top of will be their concentration levels as this race progresses.
Yeah, that's one thing I think with this circuit. You have to be 100% focused 100% of the time. Can't afford to just take a little dip. Maybe you get a tiny little bit of a breather down the back straight.
Yeah, that's right. I was just having a look back at Scott Connors coming up the mountain, and he was absolutely all over Caleb coming up the mountain.
Oh, Caleb hits the wall hard. Oh, he's got some big time damage there, and they're side by side, and he's running off. He's going to keep it out of the wall again. He does.
Yeah, he's got to back off down here so he doesn't put it into the wall down near the dipper. So he'll have some steering damage on that car.
Oh yeah, big time. You can see him struggling out there with it. Let's actually just jump on board and see if he's oh, he's in the wall again. If he's steering straight. Oh no, he most definitely is not. He's going down the straight, and he's probably got about 15 degree steering wheel angle on that. I expect we'll see him into the pits this time and see if oh well, he'll be able to use his fast repair, but perhaps a bit early for him to be having a pit stop.
Yeah, definitely. This will put a big dent in his race, and I was just watching him crabbing down the back straight there, so very unfortunate for Caleb there.
Yeah, as he makes his way into the pits, leave him there. See how he turns out. What that's done is promoted Alex Czerny up into the 8th position.
Yeah, when they go across the mountain in these cars, they don't have a lot of room for error. So, and it can be quite
Bernie,
deceptive.
just to interrupt you there, it looked like Nils was having a quick look on Ballinger going into turn 1. Thought he had enough of a run to get alongside, but in the end decided to pull out of it. Sorry buddy, back to you.
No, that's okay. I was just saying, going across the top of the mountain up there, it's quite deceptive. If you get the apex wrong, you come out a bit wide, you will smack that wall, which we saw with Caleb in that instance.
Yeah, he has rejoined the circuit. Finds himself coming out in 11th spot, so that is fast toe, be on fresh rubber. I dare say it's not over for him for a top 10. Yeah, I think we'll still see a few more mistakes today.
And it looks like Nils is starting to put some pressure on Timothy Ballinger at the moment as well as they come down the mountain.
Yeah, I think he wants by now. Nils definitely seems faster through the mountain section, where Ballinger looks quite strong. Got through the bottom half. Nils perhaps just lacking a little bit of straight line speed there. Doesn't really seem to be closing in the draft, so it's going to be difficult to overtake.
Yeah, from what I can see, it looks like Nils may be running a bit higher downforce, which is probably why he's catching him over the mountain.
Yeah, makes sense. I think that's where you can end your race quite quickly, so sometimes it's worth just being safe through there and knowing that you're going to survive that. Not exactly sure when we're going to see them pit in, but I would think for Nils it's probably best if he decides to undercut. If he can't get past, he's having a look now down the straight into turn 2. He's alongside. He's going to have to brake quite late. He's a bit tight. He's going to make this very, very tricky for himself there. But gets the job done. Great overtake there.
Yeah, it looked like Tim backed off a bit, which was probably a smart move. You know, going through there, 2 cars side by side don't really make it.
Ian Ford has pitted Bernie, so we missed that, but yes, he's come out. He's in 7th place now, so he's clearly going for some short stops, and that has to be a 3-stopper, just 22 minutes.
Yeah, that could explain how we got such a big gap. He's probably running quite a bit lighter than the other guys at the start of this race.
Well, I mean, as far as the others go, if they can make it to that magic sort of 30-minute mark, then they could be on for a 2-stop, and it could be very, very interesting to see how this race is going to play out.
Yeah, and Mark Warmington's now just entering the pits as well, so it looks like he's running a similar strategy to Ian. And Scott Connors has followed Mark into the pits as well.
We know how good Tobias is with fuel saving, and I wonder if this is why he's not made any attempt to get a move done. He's just sat behind Aaron and Kurt, used the slipstream that he's got, been coasting as much as he can. Perhaps he's already switched over to a 2-stop strategy. Yeah,
well, it's if he is, it seems to be working for him, because he's jumped up to 3rd at the moment, while the others take their stops.
Alex Czerny's still out there as well. He's on his own. I dare say he's probably going to do a similar strategy to his brother out there, so you can see he's not pushing it at all. Like, let's jump on with Tobias, try and get an idea of what he's doing, where he's going with strategy. Just down the back straight now. Definitely no signs of lifting, but he's close to falling out the slipstream there. Oh, he's off the gas miles before the corners. Not so much there, mind you. So, but yeah, certainly going into the chase, he was way off before he started braking. And a little bit through Hill Corner as well. So I think he's saving a little bit. Perhaps doesn't need to do quite as much, but they're going on again. I think what we got another 3 laps and they're good, I should think, to make it on a 2-stop. We just switch over to Aaron Hamilton here. Just lost a little bit of ground to cut that last lap, gap up to 1.4 seconds, so I think these guys are probably all racing to the numbers rather than the pace out there, worrying about the other drivers, so yeah, Ian Ford 21 seconds behind the lead, so you know what, yeah. he's sorry Bernie, I was just going to say he's going to have a heck of a job actually looking at that. If these guys can do it on 2 and he needs the 3, which he's definitely going to need now, he's got a tall order to try and make up that amount of time and the extra pit stop as well.
That's right, and I was looking at the different pit strategies, and it looks like Ian Ford, Scott Connors and Mark Warmington are on probably going for a 3-stopper, and if these guys can make, as you said, the next couple of laps, we'll probably see the others going for a 2-stop race.
Yeah, they're all approaching pit lane again. Does anyone duck in? No, they don't. Continue around, so yeah, this and another lap. This is when we need the old team principals down in the channel that we can just go and drag up now and start talking about strategy and see if they're going for it, but we'll get that answer fairly quickly, I'm sure. Just keeping an eye on the order of things out there at the moment. So it's Kurt Sternberg leading from Aaron Hamilton, Tobias Czerny. Greg Sharp in 4th, still yet to pit as well. He's about 8 seconds up the road from Ian Ford. Alex Czerny still hasn't stopped in 6th. Nils Jordan also not stopped. Mark Warmington has stopped in 8th. Timothy Ballinger hasn't stopped in 9th. Scott Connors, Caleb Jordan, they've both stopped, but we know Caleb was mainly due to the damage he picked up after striking the wall. Craig Jones, Brenton O'Brien, Yelena and Raymond all stopped as well.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that hit that Caleb had earlier has cost him too much, because he's now starting to catch up to Scott Connors again.
Yeah, these guys been pretty close all race, on the tail of Timothy Ballinger now as well. Yeah, you're right, he was able to get in, wasn't he? He's definitely on a 3-stop. It all happened actually in and around that 3-stop window, so he's perhaps just changed up his strategy a little bit now. Ballinger moves out the way there. Sorry, just going up the mountain. He knows he hasn't got the tyres to fight with these guys.
And Scott had it all loose coming up across the top of the mountain just then.
Aaron Hamilton now 1.9 seconds behind our race leader, so they've gone round again, so I think they're on for this two-stop now. I think with them going around that one more time, still going to be close on the half-hour mark if they do pit this time. I would think they would want another lap just to make it a little bit safer. Just to give an idea, Ian's caught up a further 2 seconds from his pit stop, so that's down to 18 seconds, so it's going to be quite close. I think he might be able to make up that extra pit stop over the course of this this race, but it is going to be quite close.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on Alex at the moment, because since Alex is Tobias's teammate, I'm expecting him to pit first, which should tell us what sort of strategy Tobias is running on. That's my theory anyway.
Yeah, he continued, and obviously as far as the timing point goes, he was closer to the 30-minute mark as he crossed the start-finish line. His brother, so yeah, one more lap. I think actually they're looking pretty good. Have a look as Kurt's now coming out down the back straight. I think he realised he's got enough fuel to make it to where he wants, which is why he's starting to really wind it up a little bit. Aaron Hamilton's falling back a little bit more. Perhaps still unsure if he's going to make it. Tobias just sat in the draft of Aaron, so looks like we've got them all in. I think is Kurt in as well. Kurt's gone round for another lap. So that's interesting. So he's easy for a two-stop, but the others, I mean, they're on for it. Looking at the time, we're 59 minutes now, so they're pretty good. Who's that in the background? That's Greg Sharp in as well.
Yeah, Greg's coming.
Ian's going to regain the lead here. Well, sorry, no, he's not, is he? Kurt's still out there, but he's going to move himself up to second. Alex Czerny, is he going to be in this time as well, or is he going to go for another?
No, he's coming as well.
Yeah, playing it by the numbers out there.
Ian will definitely get them, but it'll be interesting to see what this gap is once they've all cycled through their pit stops.
See, now the question is, with them being on so much fresher tyres, will Ian have the advantage with the lighter car? Will he still be pulling away as he's pushing a little bit harder? Or are they going to have the advantage with the fresher rubber? Or are the times going to equalise through this section of the race?
Well, that's a good question, Alex, but what will be interesting is that once they cycle through and we can get the gaps, we'll be able to see which strategy looks like it's going to be the quicker at this stage of the race.
Just keep an eye on Kurt, see if he's going to be in this time by.
The other one that went around as well was Nils Jordan, went for another lap as well.
Yeah, see, these extra laps now might really come in handy towards the end of the race, just having, say, 2 or 3 laps fresher tyres. Just that little bit of psychological advantage can make a big difference in the closing laps if you're in a one-on-one battle. Kurt, it does come in this time.
And Ian's just coming on to the front start-finish straight now.
Yeah, as you said, it's going to retake the lead pretty easily. How big is that gap going to be? He's just going around turn 1 now. Where's Aaron Hamilton? He's just coming into the chase, so yeah, he's got quite an advantage at this point. We'll keep an eye on the next 2 or 3 laps, see what their times are, because yeah, I think they could be quite equal at this stage.
Yeah, I think Ian had, what was he out to before they started to pit? I think it was about 4.5 seconds or 5 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was nowhere near as big as this, so he's definitely made some time up. And actually, when you look at the pit stop times, it makes a bit of sense as well, because he doesn't need to put quite as much fuel in. Ian only had a 19.1 stop compared to Aaron's 26, 24, Kurt 28, which is why he's come out way down in 4th place. I'm wondering if Tobias will want to get a move done. He's done what he needed to do. They've got into that fuel zone. I think he's probably pretty safe now, but I'm guessing he might think he'll need to pick up the pace, see if he can hit those fuel numbers in clear air and try and pull a little bit of gap. Not taking anything away from Aaron though, he qualified 2nd, so he's not slow out there at all, so it's not going to be easy or straightforward for Tobias, but we know how proficient he is at this fuel saving technique, still managing to get the lap time out of the car.
Yeah, and they won't want to let Ian get too much further ahead of these guys, or else they're going to really struggle later on in the race to pull him back in.
So Ian crosses the start-finish line. Does a 2:08.2. These guys approaching now. We'll see what that gap is. Tobias probably closer than he has ever been. So the gap is 27 seconds, so to me, at this point right now, it's not quite a pit stop, but it is starting to get close to that. I was thinking, looking at the times, they need about 35 to 40 seconds for the pits. Yeah,
and Ian's now matching, or we could say Aaron's matching the pace of Ian out there. They're all within, what, 200ths of a second in the last lap.
Yeah, so really it does all come down to the tyres then, so the fresher rubber that they've got now is playing into the hands of the 2 stoppers. So for Ian, really it's a case of just trying to eke a little bit of time out in this phase of the race, pit and then make up a whole load of time again with the fresh rubber himself.
Yeah, if he can do that towards the end of the race, really he just has to manage that gap then, and I'd say he'd be in a good position to take this race out.
Yeah, I'm still not so sure it's a slam dunk. I still think it's quite close actually.
Well, I'm going to put my money on Ian at the moment, Alex. I think he's going to take this one out, and we'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I think I'll stay stum until I've seen the second pit stop.
All right, no worries.
I'll have to take the less odds, I think. I can see actually just it's something we haven't touched on actually. If I just bring up the mini map, the weather out there. Obviously, the sun is absolutely blazing, so I can understand why he's gone for the 3 stop, because you know how easy it is to heat these tyres up anyway on the V8. But with the no cloud cover, that track temperature will be absolutely beating down there as well, so it just makes it a little bit more greasy, a little bit trickier to drive.
We've also got a, from what I can see, a very strong easterly wind at about 23 kilometres an hour, so they've got a strong wind as well.
Yeah, I'm just having a look actually, see where that's going to affect them the most. Yeah, so what they're actually got is they've got side wind, haven't they, going down the sort of the back straights, but a headwind all through the mountain section, so I'm not sure that's going to affect them too much actually. I think if anything it probably helps them just generate just a tiny little bit more downforce on these cars as they're coming down the hill.
Yeah, they might get a bit of crosswind on the main straight, but that's about it. It's a lot better than having a headwind coming down that back straight.
And certainly helps as far as the fuel conservation goes as well, because the headwind really would perhaps increase the fuel burn rate by 0.1, 0.2 litres per lap. Tobias close again, but seemingly still not interested in getting a move done. Denberg slowly closing in on these guys as well. .300ths of a second separated the top two. Actually, Tobias 0.3 faster than Ford out there this time by as well. So yeah, this phase of the race not playing into to Ian's hands. Pretty much staying on this battle at the moment, although I tell you what, we'll just quickly jump down because Scott Connors, we must have missed actually that Caleb got back past Scott, so these guys have continued their battle as it was. Yeah, so we've got that lovely super black livery as well as the Vodafone one out there. And Bernie, I just wanted to have a little touch actually. We've seen a render of the Holden now that's coming hopefully next season. What's the thoughts on that and the opinions of the community?
Yeah, the community's very excited about having the Holden coming on board. The talk around here is they're saying they're expecting it week 13 to be released, but I think it'll probably roll out during that update. Then the next question is, once that Holden is rolled out, next question from the community is, when is iRacing going to update the Falcon so we can get a Ford Holden battle? But yeah, there's a lot of excitement.
Yeah, because one thing is for sure is they're expecting the Holden to be a far superior car to the current version of the Falcon that we've got now, so we're not going to see any side-by-side races at this point.
No, the Holden's the car of the future, which is a new V8 supercar, a very different car to what we're seeing today, which is the older, quite a few years older now, V8 supercar.
And as you know, just for someone who might be tuning in, actually Scott Connors coming into the pits for a second time. No, this is about right. We might get a little off track there as he just skims the grass, but perhaps a little bit early. Yeah, just for any people that might be tuning in not too familiar with V8 Supercars as a series over in Australia, what's the main difference, I believe, between sort of the current gen car and what we're looking at now?
There's quite a lot of difference. The older gen cars had a locked diff and a completely different suspension setups compared to the new cars, and they've opened it up now so that they can have multiple makes. They're all still running the V8s, but under the bonnet, with the way they've changed where the fuel cell is, that's now in the middle of the car instead of the back of the car for safety reasons. It's just a lot better, well balanced car and a lot more drivable than what we've had.
Yeah, talking about safety, we have seen some pretty major accidents off the start, I believe, where the rear ends have been hit very heavily, so it makes sense that they've done that. It's good to see that even the V8 series are taking safety very much into consideration with these cars.
Yeah, and it's a priority of the V8s over here, especially when we've seen, as you said at the start, cars being rear-ended and being engulfed in fireballs. They've really worked to bring the safety back to the forefront of the sport, which is fantastic.
Oh, but I still sat behind Aaron Hamilton here. Kurt has closed back up now, so all three cars within a second at the moment. So we've got some guys coming out of the pits. I'm not sure who that is. Is that Brenton O'Brien there? Yes, it is. Brenton already getting ready to move out the way of the for these leaders here. Does indeed. Always a good fair gentleman driver as Brenton. I've got to say this, otherwise he'll give me some stick later on in the commentary booth for the Sim Racers Asia series.
Yeah, but you missed out on one thing. You meant to say he pulled aside his Demidov Falcon.
Oh, that's right. Well, to be fair, Demidov had plenty of coverage. Aaron Hamilton sitting in P2. Doing a great job for the team. The guys slowed down just a little bit that last lap, and Ian was able to pull away half a second, so gap up now to 28.9 seconds. So it's eking up towards that. I still think he's going to come out after his pit stop, which has got to be due soon, I would think, for Ian, actually. Yeah, I'm thinking he's going to come out probably about 15-16 seconds behind, maybe just under that, not a lot though.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at Ian now, and he's going around for another lap, so I have a feeling Scott might have pitted because he might have felt he was being held up, or his tyres went, because he was sliding pretty heavily around the top of the mountain before he pitted.
Yeah, no sense, I guess, in staying out there with tricky tyres when you need the car to be absolutely underneath you. Finishing is all important here. Survive damage free, usually on for a good result. We've got P2, 3 and 4 now approaching Yelena, 12th place. He moves out of the way, just lets them go through. Perhaps struggling to catch back up after her pit lane start issues. Brendan O'Brien. Brendan seems like he's in the pits again. We missed something with Brendan. He's just come out of the pits. Maybe picked up some damage. He's trying to get it repaired.
Yeah, while you were speaking about that, I was having a look at the field, and we've got the top 10 drivers are on the same lap, but one thing I am surprised about...
big crash top of the hill. I think that was Scott Connors. Fortunately, Aaron, Tobias and Kurt all managed to squeeze by without getting involved in that, but that was a moment for him. Just see if we can see a little replay of that back, see what happened. and in typical fashion I can't get a replay either. Like I say, the replays are just terrible since the update. Never seems to work now. Right, might have got it. Might have gone back an absolute mile, but might have it. Let's have a look here. Let's just keep an eye on him. Oh, he tags the wall there in the mountain. You know what? I think he pitted early because he hit the wall and got some damage. He's hit the wall again. Oh, oh yeah, just all out of shape. He's struggling big time. Just hitting the wall all over the place, and I think right now the car's going to snap. Actually, should have backed it off. Should have got it off the road. Do know? You know what? I think Aaron tagged Scott, so Aaron might have a little bit of damage on the rear right of his car there. Jump back live with the action. And actually Tobias has been overtaken. We missed that Bernie there, so Kurt up into second place. Sorry, third place.
Yeah, I think he just made that move this lap because it's still got him the other way around on my scoreboard here.
We have got Scott Connors just joined us, perhaps for a quick little chat. Scott, we see tagged the wall there 3, 4, maybe 5 times. Car just all over the place, trying your best to hold it together, but in the end, it bit you hard. Just in front of the battle that was 2nd, 3rd, and 4th as well. Just tell us about it from your point.
Oh, it was going well until then, that point, and then I just want to say I'm so freaking sorry to Aaron, Kurt, and Tobias, because I think I all gave them a heart attack at that point, and yeah, I don't know, I should have backed it off. It's just my stupid idiocy, and that did that, and just freaking, yeah, I'm just really pissed off at myself at the moment for doing that. But yeah, just going up the mountain, I've tagged the wall, I think going for the cutting, and just whacked it, put it all out of whack, and then I just try to push it in more. And I actually didn't realise that Aaron and them were that close to me, which again, but yeah, I don't know how they didn't hit me, to be honest.
Yeah, I was about to say, in the end everything's okay. They managed to all just about squeeze by. I don't think they've got any damage. I think that was just there was a tiny little bit of what looked like contact, but I think that was just sort of server latency, so I think they all survived, so you're okay.
I'm happy about that, because I'm like, oh my god, no, I just ruined like all their whole race.
You're having a good battle with Caleb out there for a little while. You guys exchanging positions. I think in the end both of you hit the wall quite hard. You just come off a little worse in the end, but that was a good battle nonetheless for a good sort of first half of this race.
Yeah, it was really fun. I was actually in TeamSpeak with Caleb in the channel. We're just chatting around, and then I'm pretty sure we passed each other about 3 times each, and he slammed the wall and had to pit a couple laps before me, and then a couple laps after that I slammed the wall, and then I had to pit, and then just before everyone else started to pit, I've passed Nils going through the chase, and he's actually almost took me out. I was actually fully sideways, and I thought he was going to back out of it. I didn't really appreciate it because he stayed in the gas and almost took me out, and from that point on I just heated up the tyres and I went downhill from there and just hit every wall I think that was on the track, to be honest.
Well, we're at Montreal next week, so perhaps slight difference in them, but walls still very much a factor there.
Well, it's my favourite track, so hopefully I go a bit better there. I had pretty sure my best ever finish in this series last season there with a 4th and a 5th place in the sprint round so hopefully I can sort of repeat that in the standard round, I believe it is.
We'll just need to stop you there for a second, guys. We're just having a look as Kurt having a look on Aaron Hamilton round the outside into turn 2. It's going to be tricky to make it work. I think Aaron's going to have the high ground. Has Kurt managed to hold side by side? No, he's not. So Aaron holds on to that position. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, just back to you there.
That's all right.
Yeah. So yeah, like I say, Montreal. Very different, but just as tricky in many ways. So yeah, wish you all the best of luck for that one.
Yeah, hopefully I don't spin in front of leaders that next week.
I'm sure you'll be fine. Good luck, mate. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and yeah, we'll see you then.
Thank you. Have a good one, boys.
Got Connors there, very frustrated with himself for making that mistake in front of the leaders, and why he perhaps felt he had to jump in here and apologise.
Yeah, so while the interview went on, nothing really has changed. Ian hasn't made his pit yet. He's going around for another lap.
Yeah, well, interestingly, I mean, I wonder if Ian's trying to eke it out to that half-hour mark, if he's gone really hot on the first stint, pulled that gap away, and now he's really just trying to fuel save. I mean, he's still pulling away, gaps 31 seconds, so he's pulled away perhaps 3 or 4 seconds through this stint.
Yeah, and he's still matching them with pace. He's was 5/100ths of a second faster than Aaron on the last lap. So if he is fuel saving, he's doing a great job just keeping that gap growing slowly.
Yeah, he's going to obviously have to. I'm trying to think when he pitted in. He pitted in what, about the 20? Was it about 25 minutes? 20 minutes, something like that. So he has obviously gone a little bit longer this time. So I think he... Oh, Kurt just a little bit sideways coming out of turn 2 there. Let's just jump on board with Ian. We can see if he's trying to save some fuel. To say, I think he's gone 35 minutes, so if he pitted now he could make it to the end. I'm wondering if he's changed up his strategy pretty quickly, seeing what the guys have done. It's a shame. I thought we were on for a bit of an exciting multi-strategy race out there. Spiced up nicely. He is in now, but I'm pretty sure he can make it from here. If he can, it's going to be an absolute dominant victory as well. He's having some connection problems, so we'll jump off him.
Yeah, so the Aaron's just coming through the chase now.
Yeah, both Tobias and Kurt opting to jump into the pits. They clearly want to get the jump on Aaron. It's important for them. But with those guys pitting in, you know all full well Ian's good to the end as well. So I think genuinely Ian had decided to do a 3-stopper at the start, but perhaps saw that they went past perhaps that lap, so that he pitted, put a fuel tank of fuel in just so he could decide what to do. From what I hear from the guys, that the fuel doesn't make all that great deal of difference. It's all about the tyres, so he could have filled it up and opted to do his shorter stint if he wanted to, or extend it depending on what they were doing. So just perhaps played it safe as Ian, and it's going to pay off for him.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at Ian. He's come out behind Greg, so Greg Sharp. So hopefully he'll be able to clear him fairly quickly. Otherwise, this could cost him a few seconds.
Well, I think he's got about 30 in the bag, so he's not in any rush to get past for sure. Let's see if Aaron jumps into the pits this time. I feel like he's going to need to, if he's going to have any chance of holding on to his position. To be honest, I already think he's lost that opportunity, and the guys are going to jump him if they nail their stops. Kurt and Tobias rejoined in exactly the same positions they were, so not worked out for Tobias in the pit lane area, so he's going to have to do it the hard way now.
And Aaron's into the pits.
Keep an eye on these guys coming down the back straight. Do the sweep up into the chase. Ian obviously clearly through. Aaron still getting work done on the car. Hear him start to rev up. Here they come down the straight. Gonna be close. He's still sat there. I think it's too late. I think they've got him. Here they come. As we see him just flash through the screen. Oh, it's a massive stop for Aaron. So long. Not only have they overtaken, but they're going to be about 4 or 5 seconds clear. .7 seconds stationary for Aaron Hamilton. Compare that to 19.4 for Tobias. So, whew, that's like 8 seconds. So I think the team fouled up just a little bit there. Maybe he had some damage that he did need to get repaired. As far as the championship goes, with no Jake Burton today, really the battle for P2 now is so important. Tobias needs to outscore Kurt if he's going to close in on him in the championship, while both of them will be gaining a little bit on Jake this week. Yeah, just having a quick look at the table there as well. So, driver's looking at closing in at about 40 points. It's probably more important for Tobias, considering he has 2 rounds less than Jake. As I think that's Mark Warmington going. No, it's not. That's Timothy Ballinger, isn't it? Going back a lap down.
Yeah, that was Timothy.
Yeah, so for Kurt, I mean, he's got a chance to get the, well, with a win, he would have had the chance to get it under 50 points. Like I say, he's got less drop rounds to take into play, so I'm not sure what his worst is at the moment. That might not necessarily have been an issue. But Tobias definitely got a couple of races in hand, so he really needed to maximise the points today. 2 more rounds after this one. Sorry, Bernie.
That's all right. I was just having a look at the lap times. Ian is still circulating about 400ths of a second quicker than Kurt at the moment, but having a look at the gap, they did pull back 10 seconds in that last pit stop.
Yeah, 21 seconds is the gap now, so like I say, they gained quite a bit of time, fresher rubber through that whole stint, shorter stops that they've needed. Ian was 29.9, so he had to absolutely brim it where they were able to take a slightly shorter stop. So, as you said, just they nailed it on the their part of the strategy. But I think Ian's amazing job at the first part of this race is what's going to end up winning him the.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure how many laps they're going to do. What, probably about another 15 laps, and I don't think they're going to pull 21 seconds in.
No, they're still actually losing ground now. 107.7 for Ford, Kurt with a 108.3, Tobias 108.0. I have to say, Tobias seems to be lapping quicker out of all of the drivers that have been in second place the whole race, but he just can't seem to get himself up to P2. I dare say he's probably suffering a little bit like we've seen what Nils had, where actually he's quicker through the mountain area but doesn't quite have the straight line speed to get a move done. Talking of Nils, he's down in 9th place, 8.3 seconds behind Alex Czerny, who is in 8th and has 12-second gap to Caleb Jordan there. Mark Warmington is 37 seconds up the road from him, and then Greg Sharp is another 18 seconds up the road from Mark. So yeah, Mark somehow lost out during the pits. According to my screens, he's had 5 stops, so I'm not sure what's gone on with Mark. Maybe he hit the wall off camera and has had to take a few extra stops, because he was sat in 5th place quite comfortably earlier on. Tobias now probably closest. Has been just 0.2 of a seconds down the straight. Has a little look up the inside. He's got to run. It's not going to be easy going into chase. Kurt's going to have the high ground choice to switch back. Both drivers heavy on the brake. Tobias feeling the need just to make sure he defends the line a little bit, but moves himself up into second. Now we'll see whether or not he has the race pace to pull away.
Yeah, he really had to make that move, and as you said, it'll be interesting now to see if he does have the pace to try to pull in Ian.
Looked like Alex Czerny was suffering with connection out there for a little bit, but seems to have settled itself back down, so be happy with that. Doesn't want a retirement, up to 8th place, although still pretty bad. We jump to see him now, we can see him, he's just... Connection to the server is all over the place. It's not good. You, as a driver, you really worry you're going to get disconnected when it's like this.
Yeah, I'm having a look at the pings now. All the European drivers are really struggling. They're all in the reds, high 300 pings, which wouldn't be helping at all.
Yeah, Tobias perhaps pulling a little bit away. Up through the mountain now, it's close to a second already, so actually yes, it looks like he is going to have the pace, but I don't think he's got anything to close in on Ian. He might get 3 or 4 seconds by the end of this race, but it's not going to be enough to get back into contention.
Sorry, Alex, I'm just laughing my head off here. I'm watching Alex Czerny with his poor latency issues. His car's jumping about 8 feet in the air down that straight.
Got a question on YouTube from Lewis as well, asking about the 6-week season from iRacing Season 4. Is our series going to do something very similar I think we are scaling it back for next season, Bernie. I think we were talking about just doing a few enduro races, weren't we? Like special events. I know there's no confirmation on what we're doing at this point, but I think that's where we were at, if I wasn't not mistaken.
Yeah, we're having a chat with Paul Gorrell, he's the series manager, about what we're doing next season. So yeah, stay tuned. But we're looking like we're going to do a shorter season, probably endurances, but that's yet to be confirmed.
Yeah, well, I think it's more for the guys involved just having a little break. This is the 9th season this has been running, so been running for way over 2 years now straight on. We're going to have to take it easy, I think, a little bit, see what the driver swaps brings us as something interesting and exciting maybe for the sort of the future seasons in 2015.
Yeah, I think so. And you know, as you said, this series has been running for a long time, and it, to the credit of all the guys that have been involved running it, they've kept it going this long, and I think everyone needs a little bit of a break, take a breather and see where to go from here.
Thought we'd give our leader some air coverage out there. He's been pretty much in no man's land for a good portion of this race. 23 seconds is the gap, so fairly comfortable. Knows all he's got to do is manage that gap now, bring the car home, make sure he saves the fuel.
Yeah, and Tobias isn't managing to make much gain. He was 200th of a second last lap down on Ian.
Yeah, Ian proving to be very strong. We've seen him. Am I not wrong? This will be 3 back-to-back wins for him now.
Yeah, last round he didn't take out the first one, but he definitely took out the second race.
And I'm sure he won. Where do I want to think that he won as well? Have a quick look. Did he win at Donington? Yes, he won at Donington as well. So a good strong run into the season from him. I mean, last week he moved himself up to 17th in the championship. With this result, another 50 points on top of this, gonna move him up to 305. That gets him inside the top 15. So you know what, he's got a potential to even make the top 10 by the end of the season if he carries on in this rich form.
Yeah, he's definitely got the momentum going at the moment, that's for sure.
Kurt slowly drifting back on Tobias. He just can't keep up now. Neither can Aaron Hamilton as well. So those guys are about 5 seconds up the road.
Yeah, they've dropped back into the. Yeah, they've dropped back into the 209s now, where Ian's still in the 207s at this stage.
It appears that Alex has had to do another pit stop. He's come out in 10th place. Perhaps just struggling with his tyres a little bit, but he's right behind Tim Ballinger here. I wonder if he hit the wall, caused some damage somewhere or something like that.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, because he has been struggling with very high pings at the moment, which is the last thing you need around Bathurst.
Yeah, it only takes a little bit of phantom contact. The server thinks you've picked up might fix itself after a few corners or something very quickly, but I've seen it happen and can cause some issues. Gets very squirrely out of the final corner there.
Yeah, I was about to say he's definitely carrying damage on his front right guard at the moment.
I was just trying to work out who it was that was behind them. It looks like it's Craig Jones just behind them, 14th place. Definitely been in the wars today. Finds himself 7 laps down, but good on him for sticking with it and trying to finish this race.
Looks
I'm
like
actually
Alex
surprised. Oh, sorry, Bernie, you go.
I was just going to say, it looks like Alex is starting to put the pressure on Timothy coming up the mountain at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say, oh, whoa, he hit the wall big time. Oh, that's not good. Has he kept it out? He has, but that's even more damage for him, I'm sure. Must have commentated cursed him, I think.
Yeah, don't blame me, mate.
But, I can't even remember what I was going to say now. Oh no, I was just saying actually, with the 18 instant point limit, I'm quite surprised we haven't seen any disqualifications through that. Now, an hour and a half long race on the mountain is not to be taken lightly, and we see lots of instants normally, so good driving from everybody out there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say earlier. It's quite surprising. We've only really had 3 retirements at this stage. Saying that, Alex has taken to the infield, so he'll be in the pits with to get that damage fixed.
He does go straight on. Got Yelena right behind him now, though. I can't think he's going to hold on to this position. He seems to be struggling too much out there with the car.
And Greg Sharp's just jumped into the pits as well.
Well, let's keep an eye on Greg, actually. Maybe we got the strategies all mixed up and wrong. Maybe it was Greg that was still out there, and this is why Mark... Just a little splash. Going to be close between these two, but fresh tyres of Greg, I think, is...
He's come right out in front of Mark, so it'll be interesting to see if Mark can capitalise up the mountain straight here.
Yeah, I wonder if that was an unscheduled stop on Greg's part. I wonder if he caught the wall or something like that. I don't see any damage. Didn't look like he stopped for damage. It just looked like a little splash. Maybe add some tyres or something like that.
Yeah, I was keeping an eye on him. It looks like he just threw a bit of fuel in it and took off again. It was a very quick stop.
Yeah, so maybe short-fueled with no tyres then. He's probably not going to have an advantage like we thought he might have. So Mark's definitely got an opportunity here to get the job done. .26 seconds is the gap up front. We'll pretty much leave those guys to it while these two are battling at it. Kurt's now dropped nearly 3 seconds back off Tobias. Aaron Hamilton actually is closing in on Kurt. That gap's down to 4.5 seconds, but I'm not sure it's going to come down quick enough. And of course, 5th place, Greg Sharp held on to that after that little splash of fuel. But I think he's going to have a battle on his hands for the rest of this race.
Yeah, Mark definitely looked racy coming up the mountain.
Watch him through the final. Corner now, Mark ever so close. Definitely feel like he's probably got a chance to get a run. Get himself all lined up. Through Hell's Corner. Gonna run down this straight into turn 2. It looks a little bit far back, but Greg still feels the need to try and shake the draft a little bit. Yeah, Mark not quite got the straight line speed, and actually looked like he was, or sounded like he was peeking out a little bit in that car. So perhaps he's geared his car. Oh, has he got a chance to have a little look around the outside? I think a little mistake from Sharp has Gift wrapped that position for Mark Warmington up into 5th place with just 11.5 minutes of this race to go. Just for those that are tuned in watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share it, do all the business. The more people we can get tuned in on these races, whether it be sim racers or race fans or friends and family, spread the word about the series and iRacing in general, the more members we can get. Yeah, Mark comfortably pulling away as well over the top of the mountain. I have to say, Bernie, it's all quieting down up there, really. The guy's just doing his thing. Kurt the same. Aaron's just too far back. He's trying, but I don't think he's going to make it up to Kurt.
It looks like the guys now are pretty much settling for the positions they're in and probably now focusing on just getting those points.
Yelena and Alex still having their little battle, but getting very close now, just 0.7 seconds, 0.6, 0.5, the live timing adjusts. Had a good job from considering what happened at the start. It's potentially a top 10 if we can get this position. Sorry about the bang in the background. Clock's gone to that point where it's under 10 minutes. Bernie, what's the mental attitudes of the guys out there now? Surely they must be, I wouldn't say physically drained, but they must be starting to feel a bit of mental sort of drain, stress, concern.
Yeah, they'd definitely be mentally drained, and I'd say Ian being out the front would be hearing every creak and crack and, you know, of his car and just hoping to get it to the end at this point. Yeah, it's quite a tough track, this one, because when you go over that mountain there's not a lot of room and you need your concentration to be 100% across there. So Alex, will you be tuning in next week to watch the Bathurst 1000? I think it's on next weekend in Australia.
Yeah, I think as far as my V8 watching goes, I pretty much do watch the odd little one here and there, mainly sort of on demand afterwards. But yeah, I'll probably tune in and have a little look at that. See how that all plays out. I got a question actually. When is the World Tour event for that?
The World Tour event, the 12-hour, will be, I think it's February next year, and that's looking really good. I plan to go up for that one. because we're getting a lot of fantastic cars coming out for that.
Should be good fun.
Yeah, it's getting the crowd numbers now, but it's been quite an underrated, or not underestimated, I guess you could say, from the crowds. But they're starting to build the numbers now for the 12-hour, which is really good.
Well, I think the series really has picked up quite a huge following, especially over there. I mean, obviously, you know, I can talk about it as a Brit, you know, it really hasn't filtered through, but we actually have now finally started to get coverage on our TV channels, which is a good thing, because before we just had to resort to the odd stream or perhaps watching it on YouTube, but there's not too much coverage of it on there either. So yeah, that's one thing that's helping, is that we actually can watch it now as well, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is good. And I think the only coverage we're getting from overseas at the moment is on Foxtel here or pay TV, but we still can watch it, which is great.
Yeah, actually, to talk about that as well, it's on Motors TV over here, which is a free channel as well, so you know that makes it even more accessible. So
yeah, it'll be interesting next year with the V8s in real life. They're actually done a deal where half their season's going to be on pay TV and the other half's going to be on free to air, so it'll be interesting to see if that does affect the fan numbers.
I have to think that can only help. So bit of wow, was it all free beforehand? Sorry.
Yeah, it's all free to air.
Okay, I'll take that back then. Although I don't think over here we had the similar situation with the Formula 1, and it really hasn't made a great deal of difference over here. We were watching pretty much everything on the BBC. It was all free to air, all in HD as well, and of course along comes Sky Sports with their dedicated channel. I don't really think it's hurt the viewing figures. A lot of people subscribed up to that, so which from a FOM point of view dragged a load of extra money into the series, so they're all loving it. But yeah, I think BBC still gets some good coverage and whatnot as well. So, but yeah, I certainly haven't seen the viewing figures fall off. So I don't think you guys have got too much to worry about diminishing numbers or anything like that.
No, it's yeah, it was definitely a deal that the V8 Supercars made, and they did make quite a bit of money out of it, which is great for the category. But really, it'll be interesting in the coming years to see where the V8 Supercars go, whether they start going back more to the 4-cylinder model. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Well, I have to say, we're bringing in all the different constructors and manufacturers. It's definitely taken a little leap in recent years, I think, as far as you know, the competition and perhaps some of the excitement goes. I mean, that's, you know, obviously that's my view. I guess there's others that will probably think on it very different. But yeah, I think it's definitely going in the right direction and definitely gaining a lot more attention, and it's becoming one of those few sort of big series that stand on its own 2 feet, sort of worldwide, with you know, the likes of FOM, you know, the World Endurance Championship, perhaps the Tudor Series, DTM, and you know, it's in there as well. You know, I mean, I don't even think you would put like NASCAR or IndyCar in that class, because that's pretty much just American based at the moment as well. So you know, they've got a long way to branch out worldwide coverage, where you know, I think those series are doing a good job, sort of European, Asia, and sort of over your way.
Yeah, definitely. And since they brought the new allowed the other manufacturers in, it's only got stronger over here, which is really good. Now, at the end of this race, Alex, I'm going to jump out of the commentary booth, because I've got to prepare for the GT3 race in Montreal, so I'll have to abandon you shortly.
Well, we'll try and get maybe 1 or 2 interviews in as well. Won't have to go through them, because like yourself, I just need to get myself ready for that as well, to the interview, so you know I'll apologise beforehand to guys if they watch it back and they make it all the way through to just 2.5 minutes to go of the race. They'll understand the reasonings why.
Yeah, it doesn't leave a lot of time between coverages for you, I guess.
I have to say, there is not much going on the track at all right now. Aaron's closed in, but he's not made it up to Kurt.
I'd say they'll be on to their last lap now. Total lapse time is 1 hour 30 minutes. Well, it's just as well we didn't have another bet there, Mr. Simpson.
Yeah, 50 seconds. Are we going to get the white flag this time by? Well, I think it will. Hasn't quite taken it as it's gone across the line, but I'm sure that will come out through the lap for Ian here.
I must say it's been another absolutely dominant drive from Ian here again today. Pretty much led from start to finish.
I think we might get a little last lap shootout here actually. Aaron Hamilton here. Closing in on the back of Kurt. Just 0.7 seconds as they cross the start finish line. White flag has come out as well, so all the drivers will have had that call. Ian's just going through the mountain now. Keeping an eye on these two, just 0.3 of the second separates them. Ian coming down the back straight now for the final time. Into the chase. Just enjoying himself a little bit out there, but nearly overcooked it. Comes into the final corner here. It's like you say, dominant victory. 27 seconds ahead.
And Aaron Hamilton just put it into the wall, coming on to Conrod Straight. Severely damaged car, but it looks like he will get it to the end. But it's smoking very badly.
He's got quite a gap to Mark Warmington, so as long as that engine doesn't blow completely, he should be alright.
Yeah, Mark's just coming across the top of the mountain now, so I think he'll be okay.
Tobias Czerny coming across in second place. Tough race for Tobias. I think perhaps he had a little bit of extra pace, but I don't think it would have made much difference in the end. Ian Ford far too quick. Kurt Stenberg then third place after Aaron's mishap. Here he comes. Chuffing away. I actually think, yeah, Mark way too far back to do anything.
Yeah, Mark's just coming into the Caltex chase now, so...
I think then after that we've got Greg, haven't we, who's the final person on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's right.
So Mark will be happy with that. P5, good result. Difficult to finish a race here. Does a good job. Greg Sharp as well. Perhaps a little bit gutted that he just miscalculated the fuel, otherwise he'd have had that 5th spot. Alex Czerny there finishing in 10th place. Still on the lead lap actually as well. Yelena in 11th. There was 1 lap down, but I'm not sure about that. I think that might just be a bit of a timing bug. Let's take a look at the final results. So Ian Ford takes it by 19.6 seconds. Kurt Stenberg some 7 seconds back from Tobias Czerny. Aaron Hamilton in 4th. A lot closer than actually that time would show. Good fight between those three actually. I guess that kept them on the toes the whole race. Mark Warmington in 5th. Greg Sharp in 6th. Caleb in 7th. Nils followed by Timothy, and it's actually showing Yelena as rounding out the top 10. So why is Alex not showing in 10th place? We missed something there? What's it saying on your screen, Bernie?
I'm not sure, Alex, because I've
jumped
actually,
out.
yeah, I'm getting ready to jump into my race now, so I'm
No
sorry
problem.
for abandoning you.
No problem. Yeah, we're saying Alex in 11th, and then Raymond, Brenton, and into the retirees actually, aren't we? There with Brenton, Craig. Did Brenton retired? No, Brenton continued, but that damaged midway through. But Craig, Scott, Shane, Andrew and Paul, who didn't take to the start. Right guys, I'm doing this a little bit different this week because we don't have a great deal of time to get all the interviews in place. So yeah, Aaron, we'll start with you, buddy. You know, tough race there. You were able to hold on to P2 for quite a long time, but the guys just got that little undercut, and from there it seemed like you had pace, but perhaps a little bit long in the pit stops.
Yeah, I was thinking it would go for 43 laps. I ended up with 10 litres in the tank left, so took way too much fuel. But yeah, no, it was a great race. I was very happy with it. Been having understeer problems all week, and I was glad I was able to make it to the end.
And Ian out there, dominant, buddy. It's the only thing we can really say. Where you obviously stopped quite early, and we thought potentially you might have been on a 3-stopper. Did you switch that up, or was it always your intention to go with a short first stint?
It was always going to be.
I just got my calculations wrong with that one. I you know, pitted early and maybe pitted about a lap too early, saved a bit of fuel in the middle stint after I'd managed to make sure I got a gap. And then at the end I thought maybe if it went 1 lap longer I may have been in a bit of trouble, but you know, it didn't. So bloody great racing.
Yeah, good show out there, and we were able just to manage the gap at the end. I mean, when you're that far ahead, is there a chance that you just lose a little bit of concentration out there, and you know the walls are close?
Not at all, not at all. I actually changed my tyre pressures in the middle stint, so I was literally hanging on for dear life, and then in the last stint I was pushing every like 10th out of it, trying to get an extra lap for Hammer.
And Kurt, you were in the Aaron and Tobias battle for P2 there as well. Just not able to hold on that last stint. Just tell us about the race, you know, from your point.
I wasn't really happy with my car all race. Been happy with my setup this week, and yeah, I was a bit pitted late in the first stint after being a bit conservative. I'm not sure why I pitted later than the other guys, but silly move. But yeah, I pitted early to try and get the undercut on Aaron, and that worked. But yeah, I came out in front of Tobias and hit the wall at the inside at Forest Elbow that we like to call Stenny's wall, because I've hit it like 5 times or 6 times or something, and it just destroyed the steering. So yeah, had nothing, just had to try and hang on to third. I was lucky that Aaron actually spun, because I reckon I would have lost it.
And Tobias, the race from your point of view looked like you were tucked up in traffic, couldn't really make anything happen in those in the first stint, and perhaps not what you wanted to see was Kurt pitting on the same time as you for the second.
Yeah, well, I could say this. First, hello guys. But literally, I had no practice before the race. Yeah, I started with maybe 30-40 minutes before qualifying started doing my first laps. Had no good setup available, tried different sets, and yeah, was quite happy then with the pace that I got it up to in in practice to high 7s, and yeah, so a bit more. I basically had the pole on my last lap, but threw away 3/10 in the final corner. So yeah, I just sat down behind these two guys and followed them, tried to be conservative on the fuel, and it played out. I saw the first stop, I made the car full, and I think Aaron did as well, but I gained a few seconds on him. And in the second stop, yeah, Aaron had lost like 6 seconds to us, to Stenny and me, so I knew it will just be between Stenny and me for the final podium spot, and I saw him hitting the wall, but I was not sure if it is net code or not, but since he didn't get up to speed on the straight afterwards, yeah, I was quite happy past him and drove away quite comfortable, I would say.
Good. Mark, sorry, just to jump to you as well. One incident point over that whole race, that's just not good enough, my friend.
I know, it's embarrassing, isn't it? And of all places to do it, was coming over the top of the mountain and just went wide onto the grass. I thought you could have at least done it somewhere difficult.
Looked like a tough race actually for you. I mean, you seem to sort of be you just had to maintain your own pace out there on your own, and then of course you had that little battle with Greg. Just tell us about that on the closing laps.
Yeah, I started the race and I blew my quali. I should have started 5th, but that was probably a blessing in disguise because Greg just definitely had more race pace and wanted it more in the race. So from the green, I was just intent on maintaining position, keeping it out the wall, and running just fast enough to stay where I was. So I took the short stop on the first stint, but probably took a bit more fuel than necessary, being conservative. And then over at the end, I saw Greg pit, and I thought he must have crashed. There's no way he's pitting again. And I made the move on him, but I think he'd already ceded position. It was fun, but for once I didn't mind running in no man's land on my own. Just let me concentrate.
And Raymond out there, just I have to say we didn't see too much of your race, pretty uneventful, but 12th position, you brought it home. That must be the important part.
Yeah, that was the key. I was happy to finish, but not too many incidents, I don't think. Just trundled around.
And just a question to everyone then, we've got Montreal up next. It's kind of the same, but not with you know, the wall's very close, perhaps not quite as technical a challenge. So yeah, I don't know who wants to go first, but you know, how do we like Montreal, and what do we think the challenges are there?
I just think the main challenge is Tobias. We've all got to try and go faster than him.
The main challenge might be to do a few practice laps before. I really like Montreal, and yeah, let's see how it goes. I mean, it's no secret I'm struggling this build with these tires, and yeah, doing less practice does not help at all, so we'll see how it goes.
You're all being too polite. The real challenge is to start behind Jake. Make sure you finish the race.
Yeah, okay, this is also a point. Let's see how Jake comes back and what pace he will have.
And Alex, you've just joined us as well. Looked like a bit of a tough race out there for yourself. caught the wall quite a bit, I think, in the closing stages of that, and looked like the car was a bit of a handful.
Yes, it was difficult for me because I only had a few laps of practice. Maybe there was sometimes 3-4 laps in a row, and I was in the wall. So the race went at the beginning. It was quite good. I had 14 laps, pit stop, and then again 14 laps, pit stop, and then I slided a little bit into the wall in turn 3. But this gave me a meatball flag. I don't know why. And yeah, after that, the race was. Yeah, well, my pace was already gone, and I hit the wall at the skyline, I think, again, very hard in my opinion, but that was no meatball. And in the end, the car was totally wrecked, but also without any meatball flag. But
I'm not sure what my timing screens are saying as well, because I think there might have been some confusion. But whereabouts did you finish on that? 10th or 11th? I was having a little bit of debate with Bernie, but he'd gone, so.
I think in 11th.
It was 11th in the end, so yeah. Yelena just pipped you then for at the end. Right. Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for joining me up here. Good luck next week at Montreal. I'm sure it'll be an exciting race, but yeah, I'll see you all then.
Yeah, thanks for broadcasting, and see you next time.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Right, that's everybody just jumped out of the channel, so thank you all for tuning in to watch this. Those that have listened to me for, well, nearly 2 hours now. That's, as Trevor so politely put it, what was I babbling on about halfway through that, or 3/4 of the way through that? It was a tough race with a lot of separation out there, but in the end, good hard race from Ian and dominant victory, and yeah, those top 3 put on, the second, third and fourth put on a good show. So Montreal next week, I'm sure Bernie's back for that one. I will be doing my final World Championship race, so it won't be in the box for that, but we'll be back for the final round of the season, which is at Phillip Island, I believe. So one of my favourites. Always enjoy watching that race. So yeah, I'll see you then, but hopefully we'll be back next week same time for Montreal. Thank you for tuning in. See you then.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels, including Logitech, Fanatic, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.